what's up? My name is Robert Thompkins. I grew up right here in San Diego, California. Honestly, as a kid growing up, it was rough from the start. So we bounced around from a lot of places, but spent most of my life up till now right here in San Diego, and I hold this place near and dear to my heart. It's San Diego is within the soul. You know, it's something you carry with pride. Growing up, you know, we got into a lot of trouble, just wilding out, you know, being stupid, drinking, and the drugs get into the mix, and you know, making a lot of bad decisions. I honestly started getting into trouble with the law at a young age, and just wound up going down a very rocky path that led to breaking my back September 10th, 2005. I was drunk and coked out at the time, and I jumped off of a 20-foot cliff in Green Valley Falls, and the water wasn't deep enough. So I broke the lower portion of my back, T12 to the L3. They tried to life flight me out of the hospital, but they couldn't. I mean, they tried to life flight me out of the canyon, Green Valley Falls, but they couldn't. So they had to get a paramedic there to take me out. I honestly don't remember jumping or anything of the sort, just because of how messed up I was. I have bits and pieces of it in my head, but you know, it was just a decision that I was trying to have fun, just jumping off a cliff into some water, just trying to have fun in the moment. But it led to me, you know, breaking my back and having to ultimately overcome the biggest hurdle that I experienced up to that point personally. You know, I mean, like I said, growing up, life wasn't easy from the get-go. So dealt with foster care. You know, we had hurdles that we had to overcome, me and my brother, and you know, we had hurdles at a young age, and we overcame those hurdles. But having to overcome an injury that would ultimately change my life for the rest of what I have to live, you know, a little more challenging. So, you know, I wound up at they took me to Sharp Memorial Hospital right here off the 163 from Green Valley Falls. And I spent 2 days in the ICU before they did the surgery. And after the surgery, I was in the rehab center at the Sharp Memorial as well before I ultimately came home. For me, like, I had a good support system. My brother, my mom, my stepdad, my ex-wife. You know, my ex-wife and I, we only knew each other 3 days prior to me breaking my back. I was actually supposed to do some side work the day that I broke my back, but I decided to go camping with her and some other people that were her friends and that I was acquainted with. I was up all night partying the night prior, you know. So she didn't have to show up to the hospital, but she did. And she was there for all of it, you know. And my mom and my stepdad and my brother, he didn't want to show up to the hospital at first. My older brother, Jason, he was also there for me. You know, it was hard to, kind of hard, because they were saying, they're telling me, oh, you're not going to walk again. You're not going to do this and that. And I'm like, yeah, right. You know, I still have some movement in my legs. Like, what's going on, you know? And they told me, like, you're going to lose that movement over time. So, like, in my head, you know, like, I have other disabilities as a result of breaking my back. It's not only the walking part, you know, there's feeling, there's bathroom, you know, all of that, you know. The only way that you're able to feel or touch or smell or anything, it's all through the nerves in your spinal cord. If you damage those nerves, you're gonna damage all this other stuff. And so as a result, of having to use catheters and do other things, I get infections, so it's there's a lot that you have to deal with that a lot of people don't see or understand just because they haven't experienced that, So for me, nurses were having to help me go to the bathroom, having to help me dress, I was having to relearn how to live my life as it was now. But I was dead set on trying to walk again on my own. And that's what I was dead set on, but I was okay with it, honestly, from the get-go. It's just life, you know what I mean? You just have to adapt and overcome it. Of course, you're gonna have your hard times, like, I'm sitting in this wheelchair, or, you're gonna find yourself in situations where it's like, damn, dude, this is what I gotta face for the rest of my life. And you just gotta take it in and accept it for what it is and move on, because what's dwelling on it gonna do for you? It's just gonna get you more depressed and more inside your head. So, I was dead set on getting home and getting back to my life as I knew it, but I couldn't. It was my divorce that inspired me to skate again. I wasn't handling it all that well. I mean, I didn't get sober right off the bat I didn't go into the hospital and get sober, like, from there on out. I was drinking when I was still in the hospital. I had my friends bringing me alcohol in the parking lot. My ex-wife snuck me out of the hospital, took me to the bar, so my sobriety didn't come as of recent. I mean, for a period of time, I did get sober after my back injury. My ex-wife and we did get sober, but slowly but surely I started to get into the mix of it again. And I'm a blackout drunk, and I don't handle my drugs well, and so my wife, my ex-wife, she decided to part ways, and I wasn't dealing with it all that great. So on my way to work in the morning, I was looking at rails or stair sets and like manual pads and stuff, and I knew that I had to handle my divorce better, because if I continued to go down the path I was going down, I would probably lose everything that I had worked for since I had my back injury. So I was looking at the stair sets and the rails and everything, and I was like, I want to try to skate with my wheelchair. That's what I need in my life. And that's where my mission started. I wouldn't be skating with my wheelchair today if I didn't grow up next to a skateboard. My brother Charles, my best friends Jeff Boyce, Sanat Chim, Marcos Gonzalez, Willie Kingsolver, a lot of us, we all just grew up skating together. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I was the best. My brother and the rest of them, they had more talent than I'll ever have, but it was my passion, and for me, like back in the day, that term poser, we call people posers and all this and that, but honestly, I sit here now and I look at that term. I mean, dude, honestly, there could be a skater that isn't as talented on that skateboard as others are, but it's in his or her soul. they're not posers. You know, it's in your soul, it's in your blood. You know, you take pride in calling yourself a skater. I mean, there was one time me and my buddy Willie, we were in PE at Roosevelt, and the PE, you know, coach or whatever, he tried to tell us to start playing basketball or something, and I didn't want to. I was like, dude, I'm a skater. I'm good. You know, I'll sit here. So yeah, it was the life that we lived, and like without that, I would not be pushing the boundaries today with my wheelchair. You know, honestly, like, it was intimidating. The first get-go at it, dropping into a bowl, you know, it's a lot more intimidating than it is on a skateboard. You know, my skateboard got put to the side because I was partying, having fun, you know, just doing my thing and working and all that. The last time I used the skateboard was probably a week or so prior to breaking my back. We went to this parking garage in North Park, me, my brother, Jeff Boy, and that's the last time I, you know, tried to actually use a skateboard. And I decided to try and start skating with my wheelchair. I didn't see anyone else doing it, you know, and there wasn't the type of wheelchairs that we have today, you know, that allow us to do what we do. So my friend Marcos Gonzalez that we grew up with, he was a welder. He welded up a grind bar for me that latched onto the back of the wheelchair. And I went to this church that my mom used to take us to, Horizon Park Chapel. They had a little skating course in the basement area. And that's where I grinded my first rail with my wheelchair. My first drop in Memorial Skate Park, you know. A lot of skating at OB, a lot of learning there as well. Shocky Skate Park. It's definitely intimidating, and I still get intimidated to this day because I continue to try and expand, you know, progress and push the boundaries, you know. Like a lot of what I'm doing today is I never thought I'd in a million years think I'd be doing with my wheelchair, you know, like I would have thought it'd be impossible. But, you know, you continue to push yourself and your limits and see what's possible. The sky's the limit, you know. I mean, honestly, I live a normal life. Monday through Friday, I work. You know, I realize that I have a lot of eyes on me within the wheelchair community, and also just people that get hyped on the clips and everything, you know, and I appreciate it, you know, but, you know, the only reason I call myself the 619'Chairman, my friend Mike Hamilton, Mikey Meats, he's actually the one that domed me the chairman. And 619, that's SD. You know, I hold SD near and dear to my heart. Everything I do is for SD and my family and my friends, you know. People see me on the streets or, you know, when I'm out at events or something, like, I appreciate the hype, but I want everybody to know, look, I'm no more inspiring than you are, you know? And that's the bottom line. Like, I appreciate that it's inspiring, that what I'm doing with my wheelchair is inspiring to other people, but what I'm doing with my chair would not be possible with the people I'm surrounded by. You guys, you know, my friends, Matt Sosa, DJ, you know, Dave Fry, Tyrone Olsen, you know, all the people I skate with the most, my brother Charles, you know, those are, it's all of you that inspire me. Like, bro, I see you guys going ham. You know, look at Brandon. What? Just switch hard flip in SF? Yeah, and he just got Skater of the Year for that. Like, bro, that's more inspiring to me than anything I'm doing, you know? So I realize that this world that we live in, and the people we're among, we all carry so much talent within ourselves. Find that talent and fucking chase after it like nothing else exists. Yeah, for me growing up, it was always Josh Kalis. The Toy Machine, his part in Toy Machine with Marvin Gaye. That's the reason I love Marvin Gaye. You know what I mean? And he's at the water fountain in Balboa Park with that little youngster. You know, it was always Josh Kalis for me, dude. Today, you know, of course, you got Wes Kramer, Tyler Surrey. You know, you got. I love to do a lot of Manny tricks with what I do, like combo Manny type stuff. So day one, you know, and he's still doing it, you know. I love, of course, going ham is sick. You go ham. I love jumping off of some stuff, you know. I'll go ham when I have to, but I love to do the technical part of it. Just trying to push those limits. So, you know, Jamie Thomas, obviously growing up, you know, skateboarding team, man, Skate Mafia, you know, that's my heart and soul. And I'm not trying to jock them, but it's like they're SD, you know, and that's my team, you know, that's who I'll rep. My friends that I skate with all the time, or that I see skating, those are my favorite skaters, you know, to be around and to hang with. You know, you got to be on that same wavelength, you know, and I just want to push along with everyone else that's pushing, you know. I'll listen to anything as long as it has a good meaning behind it, you know. To me, you know, like, I like to zone out with my music, you know. Rather than going to a concert, I'd rather buy the CD and just turn it on in my house and turn the lights off and listen to it. That way you can take it all in, you know. Shit, music that doesn't have any soul behind it don't mean nothing to me. Keep at it, you know. It's for me, I mean, this is something that I'm not gonna stop chasing. You know, you find what you love, you find what makes you live, and what you're here for, you know, the reason that you're here on this earth. You know, it's crazy because I didn't grow up in a wheelchair. But as a result of breaking my back, I found my true passion. What I live for, you know, this is it. Like, this is what I dream about all day long, you know, and think about. You know, you chase after that passion, and you're gonna doubt yourself. You know, you get hurt. You're gonna ask yourself, like, is it all worth it? You know what I mean? But bro, it's more than a passion. You know, don't chase after that shit because you think it's gonna get you that fucking mansion, or, you know, it's gonna get you that fame or whatever. You chase after that because that's what you love. That's what you're here for. You know, when the cameras and everything are off, what are you doing then? You know? So for me, you got to give it all your all. You know, your friendships, your family time, it's all going to get affected by it. If you don't give it your all and you don't commit your life to it, it's not going to be worth it. So you pretty much got to look at your passion as your fucking marriage. You know, how committed are you to that woman and that marriage? You better be just as committed to your passion. I owe everything to skateboarding. You know, as a result of skateboarding, I've found what truly inspires me to live, to want to be better than I am. You know, it's skateboarding, chair skating, you know, whatever passion it is that you have, football, baseball, you know, we can go on, art, whatever passion that you have that gives you a purpose to actually live and enjoy this earth and look at the world differently than the average person would, you know, it doesn't get any better than that. And as a result of skateboarding, I found that with my wheelchair. It's humbled me. This wheelchair is why I'm sober. You know, this wheelchair is why I push myself to be a better person than I was yesterday. And, you know, like I said, life wasn't always easy. And I made a lot of regrets and mistakes that, you know, I look back on and that has obviously affected my life up to where I am today. And, you know, my family, they never gave up on me. Like, you know, my mama Dukes, you know, no matter how bad it was, they were always there in my corner. So, how can I repay them for that, you know? Other than trying to be a better person, trying to be there for them when they need me, you know? It's my family. Bottom line, you know, unfortunately, my older brother took his life a couple years ago, and you know, that's what. I mean, when I was in Hawaii, fortunately, when my older brother did that, and honestly, if I was here at home when that happened, I would have lost my sobriety, bro. It would have been donezo. Me and my younger brother would have gotten together, and it would have been a wrap. But my mom told me, no, Robert, you stay in Hawaii. And, you know, I was thankful for that because my older brother, his birthday was February 2nd. My birthday is February 6th. 2 + 6 = 8. My mom's birthday is February 8th. So, and my brother loved the ocean. What better place to be in to honor him and to remember him? And, you know, I got tattooed while I was there, and you know, of course you do this for your friends and you live your life with your friends and the people that inspire you. But at the end of the day, like, dude, I realize my hands are dirty. You know, I've made a lot of regrets and mistakes. I haven't always been the better brother or the better son. You know, and in my opinion, I need to show them, look, it's not forgotten. I'm changing my life for you. So that's why I wake up every day and push it to the limit, you know, as much as I can. That's, at the end of the day, you know, you go through the recovery process of breaking my back, or the recovery process of my divorce, you know, finding out my mom had cancer, my brother taking his life, you know, the recovery process through all of it. It makes you question a lot of things in your head, you know, and I don't want people, my friends that I grew up with, or my brother or my mom, you know, if my time comes before their time, I don't want them to say, yeah, Robert, he was an okay guy, but he could have done better. He could have been a better person, you know? And I really had to think about that, because that was going in my head, you know, especially, you know, drinking, partying, drugs, all of it, you know. Like, I was blackout drunk, and I put myself and my friends and my family into a lot of dangerous situations because of it. And I had to sit back and say, look, I don't want my friends or my family to remember me for that. You know, I don't want to leave this earth with a bottle in one hand and nothing in the other hand to show for what I've lived here on this earth. I want to be a human being that people can say, I was honored to know him, as much as I want to say I was honored to know him or her.